Hey Hexkins, how's it going? This is EcoBuild Davin of Texas. Today's date, November 30th, 2021. The hex price is 17.5 cents. It is the first stream after Thanksgiving. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving time, however it is that you celebrate it. Making sure that I am watching. It's where we have one active watcher. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, so how about the hello finnbear? How about the success of the HEX radio app? That is awesome. I've been listening a lot to Pulse Chain chat, voice chat lately. Finnbear says, sorry you can't join. Finnbear is one of the peers in our community. We are located Telegram group HEX Foodies. We've got about 89 members right now. Possibly some members have changed names or left because of recent topics. Can't please everyone. Most people in Telegram just, I think, stay subscribed. But I don't know. Do you create accounts and then stay subscribed to things that you don't care about anymore? I don't know. Our group is toward the regenerative aspect of life. That's what our group is about. And so we call ourselves, or I've named the group HEX Foodies. We were once HEX food growers, but the idea is we are passionate about growing things off the land, living the most purest life that you can, and experiencing regenerative qualities, quantities as well, the HEX way. So I've been talking to some people about onboarding. The best HEX news that I have, or progressive HEX news that I have from my local community is people have seen the sign on my truck, so they've asked me about it. They want to go have lunch. And then my girlfriend, I've been kind of like nudging her a little bit, like, hey, how would you modify something that you've already seen in the HEX community and make it better? Because she's a designer. And so she's starting to think about what sort of contributions she can do, because she doesn't necessarily have to give everybody my information. She can do some of the evangelizing herself. Finnbear says that he usually leaves a subscription right away if something doesn't tickle his fancy. I thought that I would go over the Telegram stuff and maybe even play it like a video game, to where it's like the fastest I can get through it, the coolest. Just start running through the Telegram stuff. But I've got a few notes here also that I've made through the week. Okay. I went to Washington, D.C. over Thanksgiving to go spend some time with my sister, her family. I love them little kids. So I flew out of Austin Airport, and over the speaker, they continually tell you if you see anything to report it, see something, say something, right? So I thought I'd test this out once I saw a water bottle sitting somewhere for about 30 minutes because I had to wait another hour or so. So I sat right next to that water bottle or across the little aisle from it. And eventually I saw a TSA person. So I said, hey, TSA guy. Hey, TSA. The guy saw me. I said, hey, that water bottle's been sitting there for a long time. People have been coming and going. He's like, oh, okay. I need to tell the Austin police or the airport security or something. I have no idea. He said some acronym. So he disappears. I see him once more just walk by. But I sat there for an hour and saw that water bottle was never touched. No one came by. So The see something, say something. How much does that have to do with circuiting your brain? It was pretty cool that we got some that Joel Salatin live last week. Yeah, that was cool. How often does he go live like that? I wonder if we can do hex raids, or I know that we've been trying to get some of these permaculture influencers or back to the landers or food growers. We've been trying to spread the hex word to all these guys. It's weird going live. Kudos to people who can just come out on the screen. It's like I enact. I don't know if it's just me, like narcissism or something. It's like I enact another personality, and slowly I'm able to shed that away. Okay, so he says that Joel Salatin typically doesn't go live like that. So that was a pleasure, a real treat. And we're not like going in there and talking about crypto. We're going in there and participating with the topics. Don't want to ruin relationships. So yeah, as I was saying right before Finnbear jumped in, I'm really excited that my girlfriend is interested in picking up the torch in a way. I'm really excited about that. I don't really need to be proud of her, because like she's got some good things going. She's a very talented person. Got her head on straight. Okay, so let's run down the Telegram. No, let's go back to my notes. Topography from above. So I was looking at some Central American regions and some South Mexico regions, and also that was through satellite imagery on Google Earth. And then I was also looking at areas from the plane on the way to DC from Austin, and like whenever I go over, I guess it's Arkansas and Tennessee and Kentucky. Would it be Kentucky? On the way to the Appalachians, you could see, and not far from Dallas area, you could start to see undulation and a change of topsoil. And whenever I saw that change of topsoil, then I started seeing, I guess, tractor imprints, rowing, creating rows in topography, what looked like topography lines. And so I would love for somebody to comment on that. So I took some pictures. I only posted one to the chat, and then I did the same for the South American. And I'm just really interested in Central American. I apologize. I'm interested in Central America, Southern Mexico right now. I've been studying the geography of Texas, my local areas, the last few months, and I guess this is my new interest going forward. It's a hobby / what I want my life to move into, you know? If you can hear any noise that is not the noise from this room, it's a little bit windy out, but next door they're having a lot of plumbing stuff. So they've got like an excavator and all sorts of things. So I apologize in advance. Hey, will y'all please like and subscribe and comment? And consider doing some stuff on Twitter related to this. I think that from above, Finnbear asked, do I think that someone might have ripped some contour lines on the land? Interesting. I think what happened was, from above, I was able to see either a little bit, I think what it was, if I could be narcissistic, I suppose, the negative side of me wants to think that it's been years of the tractor going over along the lines of the contour. However, the weight of the tractor has made it to where some terracing has actually happened. That's what it looks like. Some lines are there, but it looks like a little bit of terrace along every third line, sort of thing. So just look at those images. Cool. Finnbear says that he's going to join me in 10 minutes. So look at those images and try to find topography in those images, and you'll see them. And I wonder if that's an outlier of people who are recognizing nature and people who we want to have as our neighbors going into the next century. Yeah. So like maybe if it is that you're wanting to reliven, reinvigorate an agricultural area of yesterday, could you then look at the satellite imagery of those areas and recognize which are ahead of the others based on the topography outlines? I'm sorry it took so much to get that out. Okay, so Finnbear posted about the Joel Salatin thing. That's right on cue. Roland HEX here, I think, was off topic, and I didn't reprimand him. He's my buddy. Let's see. Finnbear then talks or posts something about this is really cool. If you're into beekeeping and you're interested in understanding the year-round how to take care of bees, it's all explained in this one video. This guy, this older gentleman, he talks about his experiences and what they do on their apiary. That's a huge operation. He talks about it from the standpoint, or like firsthand, with great images, and it's year-round. So he'll update you each season and tell you about what the climate's like at the time, typically exactly portion of year that this rolls around, like toward the dates, what exactly the bees are experiencing at the time, how he accommodates the bees, and how people often get confused on the techniques, and they sort of do something that is not perfect, and there could be more perfect. They could be better. Cramp the style of the bee. I'm trying to come up with describing words. Like, for example, they steal the wrong part of the honeycomb so that then the bees have nothing to operate on in early spring or in winter, like right when they get out of winter, they need some pollen from the year before. And if you cleaned everything out and then just left them sugar water, they don't have everything they need. I have two notes here that I didn't finish the thought. All right, so I'll discuss this later on. I apologize. HEX, I wanted to ask him, what region of Germany does he most like, because he's from Germany. And he said Hamburg is awesome, and I know that I'm pronouncing that wrong, and Munich is cool. So if you're ever going to head to Germany, go to Hamburg. And he said that he's such a Hexican that he's not tied to one nation, basically. I totally understand it. That's why I'm looking at Central America. I never have been off of this continent, so it's not that I'm afraid. It's just a timing thing. What do we have going on? Take Finnbear's comment off of there. Okay, global elites plan to take over the world. Contribution by HEX Rockstar. I don't really know what to say. Let's go to the next thing. Because I see it as a financial thing, and here we are being created, or being able to experience freedom because of a thing that works in what would be called finance. I have a lot to say about the subject. And so, like, even in the Pulse Chain voice chat, you know, we have to pull people back from religion and world government. I need to talk about regenerative lifestyles. And what are we going to do to have regenerative life? And so this topic totally has its facet in the structure of our conversation. So let's kick some ass. Let's do the best things that we can for our bodies so that we wake up every morning ready to kick some ass. Yeah. My local area was in the news. I just saw it on an alternative news site where my county's authorities or officers showed up, sheriffs showed up to arrest two fathers who were supposedly misbehaving at a school board meeting. And from what I understood it, the school board was limiting the amount of seating inside because of, the capability of germs popping out of somewhere and devouring you. And yeah, so I'm glad to see that people are standing up to the absurdity. And I posted another video. Okay, here I am going all the way down. Down here on the bottom, it talks about people's appropriate perception of how mobile the germs are. While I'm down here, this guy mapped out using Legos, mapped out areas for CSA, community sustained agriculture beds, and they've got an interesting way of they got to juggle the community sustained agriculture boxes, the land for that, and then the self-pick ones, because you need to mark off what's capable, where the public can walk through your garden, which is very hard, but also have it tied into the rest of the garden so that you can functionally have it function to where it's not more work for you. Another interesting thing, let's see, that was only 2 ways. And I guess the fourth way, the third way, there's another way that they had it to where these were the subscriptions that you could do with them. And then you could pay 3 different amounts, but everything costs the same amount. It's just whether you want to like add a tip or add a really big tip and make it to where the farmer then has more freedom, more capability to expand and expand their freedom. Their successes are able to be exacerbated, and then they can feel the love from the community because you like what the farmer's doing, so throw money at them. That was an idea that I had. I analyzed that farmers were spending too much time transporting things from one place to another. And what's up, Finnbear?
Hey man, I
Looks
I was
cold.
like, no, it's fine. See, I got a fire and everything going.
Okay.
It's nice and toasty. But my voice keeps breaking up, so I need to I need to spread myself out. I got a cup of tea and everything, so I'll be fine.
Okay, cool.
I didn't want to leave you hanging for a second week in a row. It's like, nah, I'm not that kind of a guy.
No worries.
Yeah, so just so that everybody knows, I've got the Rona. Oh, it's quite deadly. I've had worse man flus than this. But still, it's annoying because my voice keeps breaking up, and you get these stupid aches. But other than that, it's coffee tastes like crap. That's like the worst thing. Coffee tastes absolutely horrible. That's why I'm having tea.
Okay. Huh. So you don't have sense of smell?
I do. That's the, I didn't for a couple of days, but now that it came back, stuff tastes like shit. So I don't know what's up with that.
Well, I'm sorry to hear this.
Yeah, I'm fine.
The worst thing sounds like the aches. Explain the aches.
Yeah, well, there's like your back hurts a bit, kind of like, I don't know, if you fall asleep on a sofa or something.
Yeah.
And you wake up from like a bad position. You've got like this sort of aching feeling that is sort of difficult to put your finger on exactly where it is, but you have this like uncomfortable thing. Man, so, I'm liking the hat. It's better than my hair.
We can't just sneak a peek.
It's pretty horrible. But yeah, it's just a mess. Yeah, it's a freaking mess, man. So I'm like a HEXy bastard ripoff now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When was the last time?
So what was the I missed what you were talking about, the pictures of the landscape. It feels like I missed the whole idea why you shared the pictures.
Okay, so on the plane during my Thanksgiving, I traveled. So on the plane, I shot the camera down on the ground. I was lucky enough to be able to not have clouds below me. And I recognize patterns in the landscape, and I'm quite certain that they have to do with topography. So rise and falls of the land, I don't know if they're exactly key line, just off contour, or if they're on contour for the tractor, or if they're just some sort of easy route for a tractor, but I could see these lines, and I couldn't tell whether some of them were actually terraces because I was too far away from them. But then whenever I looked on Google Maps, and I didn't pair up like the same property. I looked down in Central America. I looked for those same topography lines on small pieces of property that looked as though, like smaller landowners, let's say, smaller share landowners that were doing agriculture, not cattle. It looks as though, like, possibly they were using the same technique or arrived in the same mindset in their practice.
But do you think it might have happened like just by happenstance? Like
Yes.
sometimes you can do the right thing, even if you do it for the wrong reasons.
We got Roland in the house.
Hello.
Also, Silver Trader said knock knock earlier.
Yes, I was knocking, but
the
actual ball guy is here now.
Okay.
All right.
So
I was knocking, a joke.
Roland, what do you think about this this Lego board over here?
I'm just here for the mustache, man.
That is pretty sweet, though.
Hey, Finnbear, do you ever do the mustache only?
Only for like a short period of time. Like I believe I told you about the time I had the missus break out in tears.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. That was a good
story. That's when you know your beard is doing the right things, when the instant reaction is tears, like, hey, I'm not going anywhere with you, motherfucker. Like, yeah, okay, I guess I'll trim it off then. It's actually better like this.
So, what's on everybody's mind?
Well, I'm just extremely bored because due to the circumstances, I don't get out that much. Like, sure, I'll take the dog out for a walk or something, but yeah, I don't see people other than the kids and the missus.
See these topography lines right here?
Yeah.
And the land actually changes its color between some of them. Got them down here.
Yeah, that might be.
Well, I'd like to go ask them specifically.
I think there is a way that you could drop, like Google has topography lines that you could like superimpose over satellite pictures. I don't know how accurate they are, but that would give a pretty clear picture if your idea is correct.
So maybe I should go visit this area that I took the picture over the plane. Maybe I should go try to find that in Google Earth, satellite photograph, and then turn it to terrain to where it shows me just a little bit of the shadow, and I can figure out exactly what direction everything's going. Of course, it's all flowing towards the creeks and rivers. So yeah. But
is this you looking for a place?
No, it's just me trying to like see through the landscape. Like you look at a city and you're like, okay, I can see how it developed from this stage to this stage to this stage, and like maybe we can sort of see exactly where a landowner is in their understanding of their own land. And then we might want them to be our neighbors if they're open-minded.
Yeah, meet your neighbors before he moved in.
Yeah, if you can afford to be picky, that's something where you really want to be picky.
Yeah.
Unless you buy so much land that it doesn't matter who lives next to it. You can just fence it off and leave the neighbors to their own devices. But yeah, that's not quite like the most common way.
a lot of times they've been there for a long time. So
yeah, and they're
when you get
stuck in
there,
their
don't
ways.
just go post your no trespassing signs right away. You know, they kind of frown on that.
yeah.
Put your
Yeah.
fence up, but don't, you know.
Yeah,
kind of
and
mesh.
over here we have like the laws are different about how you get to utilize, like forested lands, for instance. Anybody can walk on anybody's land. You can't like forbid people of like you can't forbid people, for instance, picking berries in your forest or mushrooms or walking across your land to get to a lake or something. They can always do it if they want. They can't drive motor vehicles or build fires or set up like semi-permanent camps or anything. But our laws are made in a way that forests are almost like a common good, except for the trees, which of course are the landowner's property.
That's interesting. See, here you can go through this land like on a river, right? The river goes through your
You're cutting off a bit, but that it would be difficult.
Trying to keep it quiet here.
Yeah, it would be difficult if you weren't allowed to float on a river. But you can't, like, if somebody owns like a half a mile stretch where a river runs through. So what you're saying is you can't like just take your canoe ashore and take a quick piss and then move on your way. Somebody would come and they could like shoot you or something.
Yeah, mostly in Texas. Not sure about all other states, you know, but Texas is
that's heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it has its perks as well. I would maybe make a few like extra sort of turns on a river just to confuse people. It got you now, mother effer. Yeah.
I'll install a urinal in my canoe.
Hey, did you catch the soil science, the Elaine Ingram thing?
This one, I watched it.
Yeah.
So what was your take from it?
She is like one of the she and Paul Stamets are like amazing.
Soil Science for Beginners Masterclass. There's this video here. That's a YouTube link that is in the HEX Foodies Telegram group. Yeah. So my take from it was, there is. She at one point said it doesn't matter about the material soil. It matters about the living things down there, because you've got to have something between your plant roots and the food or something.
Yeah.
So you have to have life in the soil happening to break down everything for your roots. So yeah.
And it needs to have oxygen in there as well.
You saw oxygen?
Yeah, like it needs to, like roots need to have oxygen, and like if land is too tightly compacted, then it goes anaerobic, and it's really bad for the roots and bad for the microorganisms as well.
Yeah, I did hear her talk about anaerobic.
Yeah, I don't know if she went through it in this particular clip, but she talks about oxygen a lot.
Cool.
Yeah, but she's like, if you're into the sort of the sciencey part, but this is like a good clip in also in regards to the sort of the huge increases in fertilizer prices and all that stuff that we're reading about, like right now, where people are we're reading news articles about like phosphorus going scarce, and didn't I see a link about how guano is like, yeah, this.
So this video that was suggested to me from YouTube, I just clicked on, and so then I brought it to the group saying like, hey, what do you think of this? Because what I was talking about was Morocco having the largest, what was it, phosphorus?
Yeah, it's phosphorus
deposits?
And potassium.
Potassium, that's
they
what
were talking about potassium and phosphorus, and was it
Morocco
something else?
having the largest potassium mining capabilities, and that it controls one of the 3 factors of fertilizer.
Yeah.
And going into the future with population and weather systems and like recognizing where we came from, the population boom, and how to sustain the population, everything points towards, in these guys' explanation, everything points towards fertilizer, and therefore Morocco is that much, the territory is that much more important. But it's also it also stated something about like how it's in an area where there are disputes on land, to where there's still conflict on where the lines are drawn. But that shouldn't concern us. Or
Yeah,
shouldn't.
like I commented below, I've never heard any permaculture guys talk about lack of guano, like in regards to their success in their agriculture business.
So guano was where they started talking about fertilizer. It's supplementing the soil. They said that we got addicted to this, and then they synthesized guano with materials, and that's what fertilizer then became.
And that's basically like if you're using water soluble nitrogen sources in as plant fertilizers, you're forcing the plant to take up the nitrogen as it's taking up its water. So you're sort of bulking up the plant when it doesn't need to, or when it's not in the best interest of the plant to get all the nitrogen, which is like probably not the optimal way. Like if you have, like, it's a good comparison, like right after the Ingram video, to see this video that you linked, because those are like almost the polar opposites of each other, and the way they view what we need in agriculture.
So this goes into the next video that we could highlight, is Ice Age Farmer, who's a YouTuber, talking about city's 2030 plan, creating food supply inside of the city. So basically greenhouses based in the city instead of the farms.
Yeah, and it also talks about the plan, how every head of cabbage is gonna have a QR code, and it's gonna be on like some stupid blockchain where it follows it from the farm onto your table,
and then
and from your mouth into the community sewer system. It's gonna be followed and tracked. Everything is gonna be. I find it difficult to see where the sort of the profit comes. Sort of where does it realize into this world? What use is it to anybody to follow every head of cabbage, or every apple or every kilo of ground beef where it goes. Like it makes no sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
I've heard of chicken blockchains, and that's so they can trace back if somebody gets sick or something. But cabbage, I don't know.
So how do they mark the eggs, or how do they mark the chicken in your? You've seen it.
They're just serialized, basically each chicken, and then it's on the blockchain. I don't know if they have a bracelet or something, or
well, lately
it's probably on the package.
We've been talking about technology and nanotechnology. Like I would hate for it to be like running throughout the blood or the water of the stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be because
each QR is resonating.
Yeah, because you couldn't get it out before you eat it, so it would also mean that it would run through you.
Well, that's how they track it through the sewer, right?
Yeah, or they would track it through when you flush your toilet.
Oh, so they're just counting your flushes?
So they would like calculate that, okay, like Davin took in this and this many calories, and now he's sitting on the john, and the smart toilet is calculating that it weighs, the dookie weighs about this much, and it has about this much energy, and it's going into the system. Like this is all like completely useless information. Which is why
the world.
Yeah, like this is like we're going into such a deep rabbit hole that we're probably gonna have to set up a completely separate channel for this for these talks. But it's absolutely horrible and completely pointless. Like
Okay, so something that I've wanted to do though is to have intense growing facilities inside of a city and out in the farmland too.
Like aquaponics, for instance. Why not? That would be a brilliant way of producing high density, high quality vegetables and fish in a very small sort of a footprint of land. And you could, like, if you do aquaponics, you could put them on these on these towers where you spray the water from
misting.
Yeah.
At the roots.
Yeah, mist it from the top, and then it would trickle down a pipe and back into the reservoir, and then you would have fish in a different tank, and before the water where the fish swim, it will go through a tank where the bacteria would break down the which way does it go? It breaks down the phosphorus stuff, so that it breaks down into like a usable fertilizer for plants. And then you would spray it back up, and that would clean the water, so that basically the fish could live in the same water all their life, and the plant roots would keep the water clean, and the bacteria would break down all the excrement that is deadly to the fish.
I think filters are the biggest portion of work in that sort of a system, because I've witnessed one of those down just west of Austin in some heavy hill areas where the lake is, a place called Spicewood. Back in like 2012, I visited this guy who probably sunk $400,000 into 2 aquaponic greenhouses, and he was kind of like experimenting. He wasn't really sure how well everything was going to come out, and that's what he experienced was the filters give you the most headache and need the most innovation.
Yeah, I can actually, like, there's a lot of stuff I can share in the group. Yeah.
He said that he was able to make $2,000 a month or a week, $2,000 a week in the right season for the local restaurants that had the high-end chefs.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I'm gonna share in the group regarding aquaponics. I was really looking into it a lot, say 5-8 years ago. Didn't have the time. Then we had 3 kids. I had other stuff to do than raise weird fish like tilapia. I would like to probably look into growing. Like tilapia is not.
People
it's
talk
not
shit
weird.
about tilapia.
Yeah, it's not nobody knows it over here, so it would be like a what you would say a hard sell to sell it to a restaurant. Yeah, but it's a good fish because it's a it's a
Bottom
fish that
feeder.
and it eats plant material, so you wouldn't have to get any scrubs or anything like that to feed them, and it's like a sweetwater fish, so it doesn't have that many parasites. The other animal I was looking into was this Macrobrachia rosenbergi, which is like a giant prawn, which you can.
Sounds like a prayer.
Yeah. Macrobrachia means big clawed, so it has like these really long, skinny claws. It's like a crab or like a shrimp. I think it has like 11 different like life cycles that it goes through before it's an adult. But if you live in a warm country, you can basically grow them in any puddle of water that you can find. They're really they're really hard to kill once you get them going. So, but that would probably need quite a bit of investment over here. You guys can't see it, but it's pitch black and it's already -15 Celsius over here, and winter's just beginning. So, like, yeah, growing exotic shrimp or prawn over here is probably going to be like a black hole for money.
Yeah.
But maybe if I move to a warmer country, that might be something I'll look into again.
Do you already have snow piling up?
Not piling up yet, but we've already had like solid first snow, which doesn't look like it's gonna melt off before next spring. Pool is already frozen.
So my dramatic vision for a urban grow house kind of looks like a drive-through, or maybe even a parking garage, to where, like, you know, people want to take their car everywhere, and maybe I could have it to where they go and view the things and then they order those same things, and then we just basically just car hop back and forth, giving them the produce right there in their hands, and they've only got, you know, 2 days worth of produce. They've got what they just bought from you, what they just picked up, and then whatever's left over from that trickles into their next meal, and then they come back the next day. It would be like a kitchen garden from your car. And all it is to transition from urban living today into a different lifestyle for tomorrow.
How about something like where you would have like a supermarket or like a shopping center on the other side of a big building, and then you would have like a glass wall or something, and on the other side of the building you would have like a big greenhouse and stuff where people like regularly wouldn't go in unless they're working there, but you could walk in the shopping center and see all your food being grown on the other side of the window there, and then like you could shop for your Louis Vuitton bags and whatever, and at the end over there might be like a restaurant area or something, and most of the produce that they have, like all the greens and of course the fish and the huge crab, would be from just the other side of the glass.
What if it's what if it's like a bank drive-through with those little those tubes, you know, air pressure tubes?
Yeah, pneumatic tubes. Yeah.
Put that.
Yeah.
Put that with a put that with a drive-in movie.
Yeah.
And put that with a greenhouse as the screen. So you're watching the greenhouse, you're ordering your food from the greenhouse, and you're watching the worker get the order and process the order from your areas that's fungi on the other side of that glass. And then over there, it's vegetables, row vegetables or tomatoes, you know, because they'll be popping red right next to the glass. You're able to visualize it from there. And then, you know, and then you just order and it gets zoop, 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 to you, and then you drive off. But your position is in a big lot, like a drive-in movie, to where you can see things from a distance, but so we can keep that divide, and then you can sort of like interact with the other people. Because I've only been to a drive-in once. I don't know if you've ever been to one. And I was more interested in socializing than I was in the movie.
Yeah, I've never been to a drive-in. Like you need to realize that 6 months of the year it's pitch black and freezing cold over here. So that would be like, yeah. Imagine going to watch like Silence of the Lambs, and then like midway the movie, a huge snowstorm or something starts, and you can't even see the screen. Yeah, so disappointing. And then when it's summer and nice and warm, the sun doesn't set at all, so you can't see the screen because the sun is shining on it. But this is like a horrible place for a drive-in, like a drive-in movie.
Yeah,
I think like a drive-through greenhouse, you know, like they have like Beer Barn, the one in Georgetown.
Yeah,
you just drive in and then everything's just surrounding, you know, all the walls.
Yeah. When I was in Australia, they have like liquor stores where you drive in.
Mm-hmm.
You tell the guy what you want, and they just pop it in your trunk, and you pay and drive out.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to have the menu like on a bag, you know, that they're gonna take the food.
That would be so illegal in Finland. Oh my God, they would come up with so many regulations to completely ruin stuff like that. It's over here is like people by default always think that if somebody comes up with an idea, they're already like contemplating on all the different ways that your idea probably is already illegal. And if it's not yet, they would probably make it so just before you open.
Yeah, there has to be like some sort of cleaners in between preparers of the produce who get in trouble or take all the burden of bringing it into the realm where government's going to regulate. So I would think that what would need to happen is like maybe you don't have the connection of the farm to the car, and instead do what Roland was talking about with the beer barn, where you're driving through it and the coolers are on each side. We'll just have it to where those coolers are packed full of produce that can be seen. And then what were you talking about by like a menus on the bag?
You know, so they don't have to look around. Just give them like the paper bag that has everything on it, and they just kind of tick the boxes, and then you fill up their bag and they go.
Cool.
That's freaking awesome.
It'd be cool to have.
That's a great idea, and because you would need to have a company that owns the fridges and is in charge of packaging, which is a different company than the one that actually supplies the fruit to the fridge. Because God help it if somebody like catches the runs or something from eating a tomato, the whole thing is gonna be shut down if it's not like properly set up, like the corporate structure.
We'll have a
We
blockchain too.
yeah, we shared a video about this just like maybe a week ago or something, where who was it who spoke about it? I think it was the name escapes me now, but I'm pretty sure I remember seeing some over 1 hour long presentation where he in particular goes through the business structure that he has set up so that all the individual components are shielded from like legal actions. And there's a completely separate entity that is in charge of all the sales, so that if something happens on the customer end of the chain, the producer end is not at risk.
Yeah.
And they own all the steps along the way, so that there's not like, it's not so that like you're missing out a part of the chain. You just have different separate components so that they're not like a joint liability, but they're sort of spread apart, which was really clever.
Yeah. So I can imagine like one beer barn in front of the veggie barn behind it. The farm barn.
We could. We'll start up like a barn economy. You just go from one barn to the other until you're dead.
Growing supplies, tools.
To the end of the world, man. Just from one barn to the other.
Just multiple acres of parking lot with barns on them. And then people are like,
and we'll have a blockchain follow and spy on us constantly and take notes on our habits.
It is spying, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's absolutely, it is spying, because it doesn't make any sense. Like this is coming very close to where our carbon credits are gonna affect how our bank card works.
But that's the direction, right? What they're getting at, what you're getting at, is the quantities of the human inputs and outputs, instead of what I was starting to think about was like the exact one going to the exact human, then going back into the system.
Yeah, that's pointless.
Yeah.
Like if we plan for abundance, there's no need for it. But if we plan for scarcity and everybody having just quite not enough, that's when you want to follow every last drop of water, and every single carrot has a QR code. You know that there's not going to be enough time to grow carrots then.
A shout out to Hex Rockstar. He knew that it was going to pop up during the live stream, the noises and the portion of Telegram. So he's laughing, contributing to the chat there.
Was that your some kind of a notification sound that we heard?
Was that you, Roland? Where it goes?
It went off on the computer and my phone. So.
Okay.
So because he had notifications, I had notifications too. It's just that I've got headphones on. Does anybody have a show and tell? Show and tell for today?
No. I was thinking about it, but I didn't come up with anything cool yet. I'm gonna show you guys something I've made like next time.
Okay, I'll be right back. Just a second.
What?
Did I turn this down?
That's from
Metal
That's
Gear.
from Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear.
Yeah. Whee! The camera spotted you, man. Whee!
What do you say now?
No, we just had a right
He's
as you
got-
left, we heard the Metal Gear thing again. Whee!
So my show and tell item is sheepskin.
Ah,
I've got an awesome blanket here that's 2 hides put together, and it covers a person who's about 6 foot, but I would recommend going at least one more step up with the amounts that they attach to each other. And I think that it's absolutely awesome. It makes a bed anywhere, in my opinion. So like whenever you're going camping, whenever you're going and visiting other people, whenever you're sleeping in your car, just find a flat surface, and then I think that that's enough padding to be comfortable. But I don't know. It just matters if you're used to harder, stiffer surfaces, which I am lately.
you need to harden
the
up
one
a
you
bit.
brought to Missouri?
Yes. Yeah.
So you guys
I
don't
visited
have
him.
don't have reindeer skins.
Mm-mm.
Those are freaking
I think
awesome.
that's
So I need one of
Canada,
those
right?
now.
Sorry?
I need to try that out. He said it. Canada? What?
Aren't there reindeer in Canada?
There probably is. But there's plenty of reindeer over here in Finland.
Mm.
And reindeer skin is a bit bigger than a sheepskin.
Do y'all
And
wear
it has
it
has like this long hair and then like this shorter wool in between, and it's really warm.
Was that Santa's coat there? Was it reindeer?
Oh yeah, that thing.
In the picture that I shared, I think it was probably sheepskin. I don't know. We're getting close.
It's like the
There it
Nightmare
is.
Before Christmas.
Yeah, that actually might be a reindeer skin flipped inside out, so that the hair is on the inside and the skin is on the outside. That might be reindeer skin.
Did you ever want to sit on when you were probably not?
No. Santa has been Santa ever since, like, all my childhood. This is like a way older tradition than what I've ever experienced myself.
Did you ever see anybody on the street dressed up as this?
No, only on some like really weird occasions. But that guy is called Nuuttipukki. What they did was they came into the house like after Christmas, like I think it was like after Boxing Day or something, and they were usually like the young men, like that sort of the older teens or something like that, who came in and they wanted to get like all the leftover food and if there was any beer left over or if there was any spirits that probably somebody forgot to drink, they would demand them as offerings, and then they would take off into like a hay barn or something, and they'd get pissed by themselves.
Okay.
So it's like basic, like good guys. Like what do the youngsters today like to do? Probably get pissed with their mates.
Yeah.
Yeah. And eat all the food that is about to go bad. And my sister's kid plays ice hockey. And Jesus Christ, that guy eats like 5 adults. Like, I saw him once. He ate 2 pizzas and half of his mom's pizza. And
Wow.
on the way home, we had to stop and get him a burger. And when he when we got to my sister's place, it took like an hour, and the guy was already going through the fridge and making sandwiches and stuff. that like.
I wonder how much of it is actual need to eat compared to just his habit.
No, he really like
He burns it
goes
so much.
Yeah, he burns a lot of calories because he's constantly like playing ice hockey.
My mom always talked about that sort of thing because she grew up with swimming, and then so she admires swimmers, Olympians of today, and so she knows about how much they eat. So Michael Phelps, I know, ate a lot of pancakes.
Oh, yeah. I remember my mom bringing home like 12 liters of milk a day. So that's like 3 gallons of milk that me and my brothers went through every day.
This is how abundant we have to be.
Yeah. So she had like if she had 2 big bags of groceries coming home from the store, the other bag was only milk.
Wow.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I know Roland knows what you're talking about because he and his brother were so close in age that I know that you guys hit the pantry pretty hard.
Oh yeah. We did like our baby cow food too.
Yeah, but it's funny, like now that I'm in my 40s, it feels like I've really toned down the consumption. It's like I'm almost going on neutral now. It's not like you can't say that I'm in high gear anymore. It's just cruising downhill towards the inevitable, unless the Sense Foundation comes up with something.
Special pills.
Yeah.
Or just like a biodome to live in that makes you 70% less weight or something. All your functions are perfect.
Drive-through biodome.
I was just about to say, you need to have like a drive-through thing where we could go from, first we get the beer and then we get the food and then we go to the biodome thing to have our...
to relax?
Yeah, have some kind of a treatment. Drive the car into a floating tank and then relax there for like an hour.
Just jump out of the car, float out of the car.
Yeah. Just drive the car into the tank. And
So,
man.
I would like to point out that I'm on the verge of really formulating this into stone. A shepherding event in northern Arizona, May 30th of next year. Contact me through the Telegram app or Twitter. I'm ecobuild_davin_hex_OG_Texas. Somewhere in there you'll find me in all the social medias. But the idea is that we go along the shepherding paths of some Native Americans. They're on the Navajo Nation land. And I just think that it would be a fun hike. So you would need your hiking gear. You would need all your own materials. Come out there and let's have a blast.
Bring some ayahuasca. No.
Don't bring any drugs.
Ayahuasca is not a drug, man. I don't know if you've had it, but fucking dancing for 8 hours is not recreational, man. I'm telling you. You throw up and you shit yourself, and that's not recreation, man. I've done it a few times. Like my brother was in the jungle for months with the natives cooking that shit. Oh my god! Like
Your brother was there long term, so
he was there for months. Like I think he was there for like 3 months or something. He lived up there in the sticks, like he needed to have some kind of a special permit to get up the river that far. They came up to like pick him up from a place where all the Americans got left behind. They came to pick him up, and he was like in the sticks with the guys.
But yeah, that sounds amazing. I would definitely not ayahuasca, the event.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
bringing it back to
some
the
heavy
event and no drugs being involved. or
That's very
advertise.
good idea. Don't have
So
any drugs in the desert.
anybody who's
Sounds very
interested,
dangerous.
we're looking for hexagons. So I'd rather have like actual hexagons than like, you know, your family members and all that stuff. Like treat it like a meetup getaway sort of thing. Go ahead and mark your calendar for May 30th, that weekend. It will be Memorial in the United States. It will be Memorial Weekend. Just go ahead and mark it, and then sort of gear your mind towards maybe I'll go, maybe I won't, whatever. We're not taking names. It's not going to cost anything to stay out there. We're just going to be like out in the middle of nowhere, camping, hiking. We know locals in the area. We have a hexagon out there, and this is what he's doing with his day. So let's go hike with him. Let's go do this shepherding thing.
So is he gonna hike it in a day?
Yeah, it's going to be to shepherd.
Okay.
Yeah, be a shepherd
All right.
for, you know,
26
a 20
miles
sort of
is
hike.
that's gonna be like a good 14-hour brisk walk.
Yeah. And some of the terrain is up and down, so no handicap capable. Sorry.
Yeah. Bring some Vaseline for your butt cheeks, because otherwise you're gonna be shaved.
Yes.
Just a pro tip. Like if you're like seriously 26 miles, yeah, your
I'm
butt
guessing on
cheeks are
26,
gonna
it
be
might be
on.
just 20. It might just be 20.
Still pretty much. Yeah.
In
Your
this
butt
map,
cheeks when they
correct.
go like this for 20 miles, you're not gonna have any skin there.
Okay, so
See, it's-
now you start practicing, and
Yeah.
you make sure that you have a good pair of underwear, and you start
Yeah.
training
And
with
bring
that
the
pair of underwear.
Vaseline. You don't need to
Bring the
practice.
Vaseline.
Just slather that on.
I'll have plenty of coconut oil, I'm sure,
Yeah.
traveling with me, and that stuff spreads a long ways. So spread your cheeks.
Yeah, practice. It's free to start, but you're gonna pay something.
Yeah. It comes at a cost, even though you don't have to pay for the walking.
Right.
But I'm gonna put this in my calendar as well, because that sounds like quite a challenging day. So
We'll
it would
somehow
be
do it
be
live.
awesome to if I can make it out there. It
We'll
would be
somehow
awesome
have
to join
a
it.
live event of some sort, you know.
Yeah. You're gonna be streaming that, like, oh my God, guys, I don't know where I am. You have to help me. It's gonna be like that Blair Witch Project thing.
So, in this map, the town that we're gonna be around, starting off, is down in the bottom right, and then this is kind of a view that's facing west, and off to the right of this image is Four Corners, where Arizona, I guess it's Utah, Colorado, and no, it's New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, and maybe Utah all come together. So
Nice.
it's really close to this special marker. However, you know, all it is state lines. Do y'all
You could get to break all kinds of laws over there and not get caught.
and not get seen at all? But yeah.
We only eat what we kill.
So mostly flies.
Mostly flies, insects.
Yeah.
Do y'all have any closing things? We're at a minute, or we're at 1:14 right now, so let's wrap it up.
It was really nice talking to you again. I already felt horrible about not making it next, like last week. I will be here next week, and hopefully Roland will be hanging with us again.
Yeah, try.
When did you know? Buy HEX?
Yeah, definitely now is a perfect time to buy HEX.
Yeah,
like,
right.
The OA stakes come out in a day and a half, and T-share prices gonna go way higher. So they're on super sale now. A T-share is roughly $1,000 if you stake it over 10 years.
Wow.
And it was just a few months ago you had to pay over 10,000. Oh, that's Australian. That was like $9,000 for a T-share. And you can get one of those suckers for $1,000 now. So it's so cheap.
Yeah, that's great.
Explain to me what you just said about OA stakes coming due.
OA has a massive stake that ends right now. It placed it there.
First day one or what?
It's not a day one stake, but I believe it was like the first month when it made it.
Oh.
And it's just before another guy, I think it was Guardwell or somebody else who has a big stake. And this OA's stake is ending right before it.
Oh, so this was on purpose? It was
it is on purpose because it has like this effect of like you better not start dumping your shit because OA has a lot. But let's see if everything works out nicely. Like it seems that they've been going in tandem, doing the right thing, both of them. So most likely we're gonna see like restaking. And
the OA has counterbalanced possible threats.
Yeah. But if the OA doesn't restake, then our APY is gonna go up quite a bit.
Interesting.
But yeah, this is something that happens in the next 2 days. If the OA doesn't let the stake stay unstaked for a few days, like if just in case there's a party or something going on and it's like OA isn't traveling with its keys or because I don't know who the OA is, but you never know.
Yeah, so any of you Hexkins out and about, don't be checking your computer's Wi-Fi on the same computer that you've got your seed phrases and all that stuff. Don't make that silly mistake.
Yeah.
Don't expose yourself. I could have
explained
that easier.
I'm using
Treasure is a good.
What'd you say, Roland?
Don't do any crypto. I'm in a public right now. I don't do anything. I do use Safe Connect McAfee.
Yeah, make it to where
I don't do any crypto interactions.
Whenever you're logging on to a public Wi-Fi, make sure that you don't have any of your wallet access stuff on that computer.
Yeah.
Or just
I don't know. I can't put myself to log on to a public network at all.
Yeah, and then there's that.
If I can't access it with my like phone and my regular services, then I just consider myself without internet. Because every time you log into a private network, there's no way you can know who else is monitoring your interactions.
Yeah.
So be careful, everybody.
Hopefully they're watching.
Yeah, stay crispy.
Hey, and another shout out to the Hex Radio app. It got up to 667, episode 667. Wow, that has really been an awesome thing for everybody to be a part of the group and funnel people back towards the source. And that's a very important thing, us getting the right information.
So Hex Radio app is that hyper. Old? Is
that many episodes?
Old or... Wow. I wonder if there's like some of the earlier episodes might be me ranting about history.
If people start talking, then it takes a little while for it to recognize that people are active, and then it kicks up an episode. So it starts the episode live. And then if people stop talking for long enough on the back end of that, then it stops the episode. So the episodes are different. They're varying in their length.
Yeah, and of course you could have several over one day. So yeah. So it might only be 400 days or something, but still 600 episodes.
I've just been listening to it a lot, and then directly in the Pulse Chain voice chat lately. So it's heavy on my mind that that wow, this is a really great resource, because the conversations in there have been a little bit more broader and richer, and I'm really liking it. In
Oh
case
yeah, it's been
you haven't been
invaluable to
in that
me.
area. Yeah.
Mm.
Because Roland has only been looking at crypto for how long now?
What did you?
Sorry to
When did
call
I
you.
bought in May, I think.
Yeah.
April
Okay.
or May, I got in HEX at 9 cents.
Okay. So you're still, it's still
7
easy
months.
for you. You're not like head underwater at the moment. So yeah, might not be a bad idea to like get a refill. Doesn't look to me like we're gonna go much slower. But then again, I'm just a guy on my sofa here.
Oh yeah, I've bought it 47, but that's my 5555, so I don't even care.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be in 5,000 days. It's gonna be way higher than 40 cents. I'm pretty
Right.
sure, without giving any financial advice. But if you play around with the stakehex.today site, I think it's perfectly fine to crank up the hex price from the 15-year stakes up to $1,000 or slightly
1,000.
above. I think it's fine. Yeah, but you're gonna lose a few nights sleep when you do it, but still it's good fun, and it makes the waiting a bit easier.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it was great talking to you. I gotta hop off and tuck the kids to bed.
Alrighty.
All right.
See you guys next week.
Peace. I'll see you.